Okay, gang, in the hideout today, and today we're going to do another video. Do I sound like one of those guys at the fair trying to get you to buy something? That's what I'm going to try to do. We're going to talk about this. Your pickers. Booger or panties, I don't care. Okay, welcome to the hideout today. Please guys remember to click subscribe and click the ringy dingy, get your notifications. I really appreciate it. Check us out at sgt1911.com and help the kids over at St. Jude. Now, what we're going to talk about today is kind of a, it's an issue. I'm old school. You can see the gray and the hair on my chinny chin. Some of you guys are a lot younger. I really appreciate it. I can go out to YouTube analytics and see a lot of my subscribers are younger. And I can tell by the comments that they are. That is no criticism. I want to go back and try to clarify some things on the handgun safety and why things are the way they are. Now, one of the things we're going to talk about in particular is a 1911. Some of you guys know this, and I'm going to put it in there, and it will kind of go along with what we're trying to do. But what I'm going to talk about is Colonel Jeff Cooper's conditions of the 1911. Now, for one time here, I'm going to cheat just a little bit. I got my notes because there's 4 conditions, and I know I'm going to get fact checked. So if I stutter sometimes and stumble and get confused, it's COVID brain. That's my excuse. But here's what we're going to talk about. All right. There are conditions of readiness of the 1911. Condition number 4, we're going to start at the bottom. The chamber is empty. The hammer is down. There's no magazine in the gun. Condition number 4. This is a condition of safety or readiness of a 1911 according to Colonel Jeff Cooper. If you don't know him, you need to. Then we have condition 3. The chamber is empty. We're going to do some make-believe. Chamber is empty. The hammer is down. We have a full magazine in the gun. Condition of readiness 3. So far, we're not ready for anything, are we? But we're working our way up to it. Then we're going to go to condition 2. We have a round in the chamber. The hammer is down. We have a full magazine in the gun. So far, so good. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll even put a picture of this up there so you can see it, okay? Because this is going to be a video that you're going to see some other things other than just me. Condition number 1, also known as cocked and locked. We got a magazine in the weapon. We got a magazine in the round. It's cocked, safety zone, it's locked. That's condition number 2. This here's a whole nother video. Condition number 2. Do I carry a 1911 like this? Freaks people out. But you guys who know anything about them should know it's completely safe. But it's another video. Alright. Now, condition 0. We went from condition 1, condition 0. We're ready to go. Now we are ready to go. So we went from condition 4, chamber is empty, hammer down, no magazine in the gun. Condition number 3, chamber is empty, hammer down, magazine in the gun. Condition 2, round in the chamber, hammer down, magazine full in the gun. Condition number 1, known as cocked and locked, round in the chamber, hammer's cocked, safety zone. Condition 0, 0 means you shouldn't get, right? Ready to go. Round in the chamber, hammer cocked, thumb safety off, full magazine of the gun. We're ready to rock and roll. Condition 0. In my mind, we have 2 conditions, 3 conditions. Either the damn thing's completely empty, or it's on cock and lock, or safety's off and it's ready to go. The other 2, I don't know. I'm gonna put this up, let you guys look at it while I do some other stuff. All right. Going to be work for Mrs. Sarge 1911, but she's good. All right, now let's talk about this. I'm gonna put some more stuff up in a little bit, and they'll run by, but I want you to see. Everybody says, keep your finger off the trigger. Well, yes and no. I'm gonna have to go back now, fact check me. I don't care to be wrong, whatever it is. When do you keep your finger off the trigger? When you don't want to shoot something. When you don't want to shoot something, why don't you just leave the handgun in the holster? Safer, isn't it? So what's this? Is this safe? This safe. We're going to put some pictures up here in just a second, and I want you to see as we go. If I go back and look throughout history, especially military training, FBI training, police training, holsters, other things. We'll start with those pictures about now. If you'll notice these holsters in these pictures, the holsters are made where there is a cutout for you to get your finger on the trigger. Why? They want your finger on the trigger. If you look at these military pictures when they're training, they have their finger on the trigger. If you look at the FBI and the police, they have their finger on the trigger. So when did we start training to keep our finger off the trigger? I'm going to make the assumption that it was around 1980 when the Glocks come out, where there's no safety on the handgun. I'm going to make that assumption that that's when it is. Now, fact check me. The first three characters of assumption is ass, right? So ASS. Share with me why we begin to put finger off the trigger. I mean, I hear a lot of comments, keep your finger off the trigger. That's not the way I was trained. The way I was trained is if I didn't want to shoot anybody, keep the damn thing in the holster. No mistake. So why are we doing the finger here? I'm not saying it's not safe. What I'm saying is, once upon a time, this was your training. Today, this is your training. I will say this, if I'm here and you're here, this beats you. So, to each his own. The biggest thing is, if I've got my finger here and this is pointed at the ground, if I do have an accident, I still didn't hurt anybody. I think it's a good thing to have some of these long polymer triggers out there that just don't do what they're supposed to do, because in high stress situations, you know, I'm going to go out on a limb and say a police officer shoots at the range once a year. Maybe in some areas they shoot a lot more. Some people don't shoot at all. Unfortunately, people like me, I shoot quite a bit, but I have a problem. I shoot this and this and this and this and this. I don't practice enough with my handgun. So I think there's a problem there, that a lot of people have this preconceived thing that they were taught, keep your finger off the trigger, but there's other generations, other individuals, other niches, so to say, that were taught this. Take a look at those pictures that we just put up there just a minute ago, and you'll see there's a cutout. Now, if you look at advertisements for holsters today, it will advertise that the trigger guard is covered. So we've changed as a society for some reason as to why we want the triggers used or not used. Even some of those revolvers out there, you know, the FBI pictures I'm going to show you and the police training, what do they have? They have their finger on the trigger. If you look at your holsters, the triggers show. So all they got to do is this. They don't pull the weapon and then try to find the shooter. They pull from the holster like this. So there is a reason, guys, that your picking finger is used by some people and not used by other people. I'm not going to criticize you for keeping your finger inside or outside. It's irrelevant. Are you safe with the gun? Are you trained with the gun? Can you shoot it safely? Can you do it safely? How is your holster? Does it have a cutout for the trigger or does it not? I don't care. But at the same token, guys, I'm going to ask you, when I pick up a handgun during a demonstration and I do it this way or do it this way, you shouldn't care either. I'm demonstrating the handgun. Don't pick out that I'm using my booger finger, because it's totally irrelevant for what I'm showing you. What I'm showing you is the handgun. I'm just explaining to you why I get some comments that sometimes I do this and sometimes I do this. Go back and look at the old training films. It's this. Why? Why did we move to this? I'm going to assume because we got to the polymer striker fire pistols. I could be wrong. Anyway, it's just a little explanation. Oh, one more thing. Somebody wants to know why I do not like a ambidextrous, and I say it the southern way, ambidextrous safety. So stop right here just for a minute. I'm going to go get one and show you. Okay, went and snatched one out of a box, and I'm going to tell you why I do not like ambidextrous safeties. And you're going to say, whoop-de-doo. Now, is it a big deal? No. It's right here. I've got an STI 2011, which is basically a 1911 ambidextrous safeties. Beaver tail, safety, safeties. All right, now I'm going to tell you why. I carry cocked and locked. And in my opinion, everyone should carry a 1911 cocked and locked. If not, you pick up a rock and throw it at them. Here's the reason. My safety, I'm right-handed, is on the inside next to my body in my holster, protected by the holster. Now, I know you can get different holsters, but when I carry cocked and locked, I will oftentimes take this strap and go over in front of the hammer so it blocks the hammer. Just an extra security precaution. I can still get the snap off, pull the pistol, and use my finger inside the trigger guard like a lot of people don't. Now, this is what bothers me about it, and it's not a big thing, but you guys wanted to know, so I'm going to tell you. With the ambidextrous, if you were a southpaw, it'd be the different thing. But they don't make 1911s that way unless you special order probably. What's going to happen a lot, and it happens to me often, depending upon the holster or something, this safety will come off because I've hit it on the table at the restaurant. It's got snagged on the steering wheel. I've done something with my holster. I caught it on the jacket, whatever it may be. Now, that's my problem, my mental game. But you know this is why I don't like it. Now, is a handgun still safe? Yes. Why? This safety. But let's just suppose this safety was not functioning. Dirt, grime, whatever. Now the weapon can go off. You could actually pull the trigger now and the weapon go off. So if I'm relying on just this internal safety up against my body, the same thing could happen, but I've got two safeties, which means I have twice the opportunity for the safety to come off. Is it still safe? Yes, it's still safe because of this. Now, I'm getting hung up on some of the same reasons people get hung up on cocked and locked. I know the weapon's still safety, but I have very often picked up a 1911, this safety not work. So you should often do your safety check, make sure the safeties work, take your fingers or hands off, pull the trigger, make sure it doesn't go off. Now, if this thing was not functioning right, had a weak spring or was stuck in there somewhere, and my holster pushed this off, bam, bang. So my problem with an ambidextrous safety is not a big deal. I just don't like them because of that reason. Is it something to you? No, it's not nothing to you. It's no more than carrying cocked and locked. People don't like to carry cocked and locked. I understand why. It's that mental confidence that they lack in something else. Not themselves, not their own capabilities, but something else. So I hope that I've touched base on a little bit of things as far as your picking finger, inside, outside, why I don't like ambidextrous safeties, and Colonel Jeff Cooper's conditions. I hope we've done that today. If we haven't, I'm gonna put some stuff up there, or we have put some stuff up there. Go back, stop it, watch it again. If you have questions, please ask. But anyway, just wanted to take a few minutes and touch base on some questions I've gotten often, and I think most of the time the questions about the picking finger are coming from the younger audience out there. And I understand, because you really have not trained significantly on these or these. But you have these, which have no safety. So I understand it, I get it, I hope you're getting it. So ask questions, come back and forth with me. I hope I've clarified some things. So until we shoot again, let's always make sure to shoot safe and shoot straight. Huh.